Hello and namaste. Who invented the internet? No, it was not invented by human beings. Thousands of years before humans even dreamt of it, trees in the forest developed an internet which they used to communicate with each other and to share resources. This internet, called Wood Wide Web, was only recently discovered by scientists. You'll find such mind-blowing insights in Peter Wollheben's book, The Hidden Life of Trees. Welcome to Temple's Books in Science. Today I want to tell you about another fascinating science book which takes us into the world of trees which we would have never imagined before. Did you know that trees use scents to communicate with each other? Take the example of acacia trees in the forests of Africa. When a giraffe feeds on one tree in the forest, it warns all the neighboring trees that this is happening. So every acacia tree in a 100-meter radius starts pumping toxins to its leaves to prevent the giraffe from attacking it. The giraffe too knows that this would happen. So instead of moving to the next tree, it goes to a tree 100 meters away to continue feeding. It is just like if your house is on fire and you scream. Your neighbors will hear you, but the people at the end of the street will not hear you, isn't it? This is not all. There are more sophisticated ways in which trees employ their communication skills. Let us say an insect is feeding on an oak tree. The tree identifies the exact species of insect that is feeding on it. It then releases a message which attracts the predators of this insect towards it. For example, if there is a bird which feeds on this particular insect, the tree will send out scents which specifically attract those birds. Just imagine how nuanced this strategy is. This is similar to Pakistan cozying up to China to defend itself against India. Trees and forests have also established a complex communication network by partnering with fungi. These fungi connect the roots of the trees through which they exchange information about soil conditions, water availability, approaching storms and predators. They also use this network to share food with each other and help other trees which are in distress. However, this comes at a high cost. The fungi take up to 30% of the food produced by the trees as payment for their service. But they provide real value for money. They ward off infections, they filter out heavy metals which are detrimental to the trees. If there is a lack of nitrogen in the soil, some fungi release deadly toxins which kills small organisms and releases the nitrogen tied up in their bodies. This becomes fertilizer for the trees. Just like humans, trees also make friends with each other. Normally, when a tree encounters another tree, it strengthens the branches that are touching the other tree. It is a show of strength, a signal to the neighboring tree not to infringe on its territory. But sometimes two trees become close friends. Then they don't grow such hostile branches towards each other. They give enough room for the other to grow. Sometimes they form such a close bond that when one tree dies, the other dies too. It is almost as if they are soul mates. Trees are communal beings, just like us. When trees grow close together, they share nutrients and water with each other so that each tree can grow into the best tree it can be. It is very similar to how a social security system operates to ensure individual members don't fall behind. Every tree in the forest seems to understand that it can only be as strong as the forest that surrounds it. However, trees and plants cultivated by humans in farms have lost this ability to communicate. We have literally made them deaf and mute. As a result, they have lost the protection that their community offers. That is why they are more susceptible to diseases and we have to constantly pump them with pesticides. We say it takes a village to raise a child. Similarly, it takes a forest to raise a healthy, well-rounded and well-adjusted tree. Just like humans take care of their children, trees too nurture and discipline their offspring so that they can have a long and prosperous life. Did you know that for a tree to live a long and full life, it needs to grow very slowly when it is young? When they grow slowly, their cells are stronger, which makes them more resistant to infections and storms. The mother tree ensures that this happens by growing a canopy above their children to prevent too much sunlight from reaching them. This prevents them from producing too much food and growing too fast. These mothers also share the nutrients they produce with their children, but just enough required for healthy growth. Looks like human parents have a lot to learn from their tree counterparts. It should be noted that all these things happen only in virgin forests which spring up naturally. What happens in artificial forests created by humans? Trees are not comfortable in these environments and constantly send out distress signals in the form of scents. It is like these trees are screaming for help. When you walk in such forests, you unconsciously register the state of alarm. It is found that blood pressure of people walking in such forests increases. Whereas when you walk in a natural forest, your blood pressure decreases and lung capacity increases. Humans intuitively register the health of the forest, perhaps because they have lived in forests for millions of years. I have only shared a fraction of the wisdom about trees that this book holds. Reading this book gave a whole new meaning to the phrase, losing sight of the forest for the trees. Something as ubiquitous as a tree has such hidden depths. I was in tears when I read this book. Can we ever be forgiven for treating these majestic and magnificent beings with such callousness? That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for reminders. Please share it with your friends and like-minded people. Until next time, Namaste.